Time now for the global outlook. Maserati switching gears and rolling out a new supercar with a bargain $65,000 price tag. The Italian car maker's first crack at the so-called upper medium luxury market. The new Ferrari-powered Maserati will compete with the likes of BMW, Mercedes, and Audi when it hits U.S. showrooms in September. With more on this and Maserati's expansion plans is car expert Max Girardo, who specializes in Italian sports and racing cars, as managing director for RM Auctions, which is the global leader in the collector car industry, handling auctions, restoration, and appraisals. Joins us now from London. Max, great to have you here with us, and this is really cool. So Maserati coming out with a $65,000 car. Why are they doing this? Is this some sort of sweet spot in the luxury car market here?
You know, Maserati wants to expand on their market share, and it's very difficult to do it with the supercars. There's a lot of competition with the very top end of the market, so it makes sense. There's a huge amount of cars sold every year in this segment, so it really makes sense for Maserati to expand and go into this segment. There's about 1 million cars sold. You know, the big German manufacturers, the Mercedes, Audi, they sell BMW. They sell about 1 million of these cars a year each. So there's a big turnover. It makes sense for Maserati to expand in this segment here.
Right, to try to get into that segment. Then, Max, what took so long?
Well, that's a good question. You know, they've tried to relaunch Maserati many times. Some cynics will say that this is the third or fourth time that Maserati is going for a rebirth or a relaunch. But I think they've got some very stable ground. They're on stable ground now. So I feel that they're going to have some success with this particular car.
Well, what's the problem, though? Is there a perception problem here? You know, are drivers just more used to a BMW, a Mercedes, or what?
Yeah, you can say that again. I think you hit the nail on the head. There's certainly a perception problem. You know, everyone associates Maserati as unreliable, and you know, is it going to get you there? Are you going to break down en route? So, so there really is a big perception problem. But hopefully, with the new cars that they're making now and the new investments they're making into the brand, they'll be able to communicate to people that that actually it's a reliable car now.
Well, what's going to be? I think it's called the Ghibli, right? What is exactly going to be different about this car that's special versus like an Audi A6?
You know, I think they're going to try to appeal to the buyer that wants something a little bit different, a little bit quirky. There's a BMW or an Audi A6. I suppose you could say everyone has one. There's one on every street corner. Whereas the Ghibli will be a little bit different. It'll have Italian flair, a bit more of Italian sex appeal. You know, the interior is Poltrona Frau, which is a very famous Italian manufacturer of leather goods and furniture. They've tried to give it the Italian class and Italian touch to the car, and they're really calling upon the heritage. Ghibli was a very successful Maserati model made in the 60s, so they're trying to call back on the heritage they have. It's a brand that's been around for a long time and has a lot of potential.